Moto dork. Okay. Oh. 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 Oh, hello. Hi. I see you've caught me doing one of the many important things I do around here when I'm not riding my motorcycle. Well, I mean, since you're here, I suppose we can shoot a video. Someone on my channel asked if I would post a video of my motorcycle, do a walk around of it, and talk a little bit about it. So I suppose I can do that since I'm not riding right now. You know, I'm doing important things. So let's head out to the garage. Oh, okay. Oh, that was quick. Well, this is it. It is a 2003 Kawasaki Concours. I've owned it for going on 6 years now. It is pretty much all factory, except for a couple of things. I've added this mount for my GPS device, and it has a different seat. So, this bike was manufactured for 20 years in this style, in this body style, and during that 20-year run it remained relatively unchanged. There were some minor cosmetic changes here and there. For instance, when the bike was first built, instead of compartments here, there were just small little plastic pouches. I like this design a lot better. And yes, I suppose this design is starting to get a little bit dated, but it still looks very racy, and it is a very fast bike. It's powered by 1000cc inline 4-cylinder engine. This bike is essentially a 1000cc Ninja with a touring package. Mainly hard shell luggage here. When I bought it, it had a top case mounted here, but I took that off to preserve the original look of the bike. I just like it better, looks sleeker this way, and I don't really need the top case, especially since I've got, you know, 2 pieces of luggage here. Some things I've done to it, of course, I've had, changed the oil regularly, at least once a season, sometimes twice. I've replaced the water pump on it, done some cleanup on it, but this bike looks pretty much the way it did when I bought it. It was very well maintained, very clean, had low miles. It was 10 years old. I bought it. It had 27,000 miles on it. Right now it has 52,409. So I've almost doubled the mileage on it in half the time. So this bike is shaft driven. I prefer a shaft drive bike over a chain driven bike because it's for one thing quieter, and there's a smoother transfer of power from the transmission to the rear wheel via the final drive gears. Like I said, the luggage is very handy, for trips. The bike has risers for handlebars because, since this is a touring bike, they didn't want you to be hunched over, in a really aggressive stance for a long period of time, because this is a bike that has a very large gas tank. It's made for long trips. So the more comfortable you can be, the better. You're still in a slightly aggressive stance riding this bike, but it's not as bad as your typical crotch rocket. So Typically put 20W50 oil in this thing, and you know, I keep the fluids checked and topped off, but I've never had a leak one single time with this bike. I'm not riding right now because the rear tire is really bad on this thing. It's worse than I thought it was, that's on me. Wasn't paying attention. But we got some new tires over here, and gonna get the tires replaced, get the valves adjusted again. Gonna maybe have the front shocks overhauled. I don't know. Depends on, you know, what kind of condition they're in. And that's about it. You know, that's really all I have to say about this bike. You know, it registers 150. It red lines at 10.5. You know, which isn't, you know, crazy like a lot of today's super bikes, but you know, this bike will get you down the road pretty quickly, and has a very flat torque curve. I mean, the torque is very strong all the way through the revs. So this is a fairly powerful bike. And I guess that's about all I have to say. I suppose it's time for me to get back to some of my important business at hand, since I can't ride with the rear tire in the condition it's in. So if you have anything else to ask or talk about, feel free. If you're watching this for the first time, please subscribe, because then we can you know, we can see each other on a more regular basis. And you know, hit the little bell, or I guess I should say smash the bell. That's what kids say these days. And I'll see you next time.